All right, so today we're diving deep into water safety, something that's so important for everyone, really, from babies and toddlers to adults.
It is, and we've got Beck Bailey with us. She's a swimming instructor.
Yeah, with over 20 years of experience.
Exactly, 2 decades of experience. And what's really interesting is that she was actually self-taught until adulthood.
Really?
Yeah, she had to relearn everything through stroke correction classes later on.
Wow, so she really gets the challenges people
Oh,
face.
absolutely, no matter what age you are.
So how'd she get started in this whole world of water safety?
Well, she grew up in a small town in New South Wales, and formal swim lessons, not really a thing there,
Oh, wow. So backyard pool it is.
pretty much. Taught herself to swim, but years later, she took those stroke correction classes, and I guess like a light bulb went off. She realized there was so much more to it all.
And that sparked her passion for teaching.
Exactly. It actually, her friend Mandy, who was already a swimming instructor, kind of encouraged her to get certified.
That's awesome. So she gets certified. Then what? How does she end up specializing in infants and adults? Those seem like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right. Well, one day a teacher was absent, and Beck got thrown into a baby's class. Just, by chance.
Oh, wow. Trial by fire.
Totally. But she just had this natural talent for it. Parents loved her. So she actually ended up pursuing infant teaching qualifications.
That's so cool. But she also works with adults, right?
She does. And there's this one story that really, I think, sums up her approach.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me.
So she taught this 72-year-old woman. This woman had made a bet with her sister-in-law
A bet. About what?
to swim at Christmas, surprise their families, the whole thing. But this woman had like 70 years of fear to overcome.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack.
Right. So it wasn't just teaching strokes. It was like building trust, addressing all those deep-seated anxieties. Just getting her comfortable putting her face in the water was a huge step.
It's amazing how learning to swim is such a mental and emotional thing, not just physical.
It really is.
So, how does she even approach teaching someone who's just a few months old versus someone in their 70s? I mean, talk about different worlds.
I know, right? Well, with infants, it's all about making swimming a natural part of their life right from the beginning.
Okay, so starting young?
Yeah, around 6 to 8 weeks old even.
Wow. So they get comfortable early on.
Exactly, and they progress so much faster. But she noticed something interesting with toddlers, like around 2 to 4 years old. They often develop this fear of water.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
A lot of it comes down to, those parental warnings we all give, like, don't go near the water, you'll drown.
Oh, right. Makes sense. We think we're protecting them,
We are, but it can instill this fear, especially at that age.
where they're just starting to grasp danger.
Exactly. So instead of just jumping into teaching skills, Beck really focuses on building trust with both the child and the parent.
That makes sense. Everyone needs to feel safe.
Absolutely. She treats them with respect, acknowledges their feelings, and introduces them to the water gradually, in a fun way.
So it's about taking those fears head on.
Yeah, before even trying to teach a stroke.
This is all great stuff. So if you're a parent listening and say you haven't started your child in lessons yet, maybe they're already 2 or 3, what can you do at home to kind of get them ready?
Oh, there's a lot you can do. Beck recommends starting water conditioning at home. You can even use a watering can in the bathtub.
A watering can. Right.
Yeah. Let them play with it, pour water over their body. And if they're hesitant about their face, use a consistent cue like ready, go,
Yeah.
and just trickle a little water across their forehead.
It's all about making it fun and gradual.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Resist the urge to wipe their face right away.
Oh. Why is that?
It might seem counterintuitive, but letting that water trickle down actually helps them get used to the feeling. They become less sensitive to it.
So we're kind of desensitizing them.
In a way, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got watering cans. We're letting the water drip. Anything else parents can do at home?
Another surprising tip from Beck is practicing back floats in the bathtub.
In the bathtub. Okay, I got to hear more about this.
It might sound strange, but it helps kids get comfortable with that feeling of water on their ears. And that change in equilibrium that can sometimes be a little freaky?
Yeah, for sure.
So they experience it in a safe, controlled environment.
So it becomes less scary.
Exactly.
I love how she's turning bath time into like a mini water safety lesson.
Right. And remember, positive reinforcement is key. Keep it fun, playful, and encouraging. And speaking of making things fun and safe, there's this thing called monkey walking. It's so simple, but really important for safety.
Monkey walking. Okay, I'm intrigued. What is that exactly?
So picture this. A kid gripping the pool wall with their hands and feet, and they're just kind of shuffling sideways along the edge.
Oh, that's cute, like little crabs.
Beck calls them cheeky sea monkeys.
I love it. But wait, so there's a safety aspect to this.
Oh, big time. It teaches kids how to find a safe way out if they accidentally fall in. They learn to move along the wall until they reach steps, a ladder, somewhere they can climb out.
Oh, that's smart. It's like an escape route they can figure out on their own.
Exactly. Problem-solving skills without even realizing it.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of this before.
It's funny, a lot of parents don't realize the real purpose. Beck asks them about it, and they're often like, huh.
Wow, really? That's a good reminder that we might not always see the, deeper meaning behind some of these things.
Right. Sometimes we miss the forest for the trees. So let's talk about how monkey walking actually changes as a child develops.
Okay, yeah, because obviously a baby's going to need a lot more help than a toddler, right?
Exactly. It starts with a lot of support, parents holding their hands, guiding them along the wall. But as the child gets older, maybe 10, 11 months old, their grip gets stronger.
So they can start supporting themselves more.
Yeah, parents can gradually let go.
Encourage that independence. I love it. What about when they're full-on toddlers walking and running around?
By 14 months, a lot of kids can monkey walk on their own. And by 20 months, they're chasing their parents along the wall. It becomes a game.
That's amazing. They go from needing constant help to zooming along. It's so cool how play and learning can go hand in hand.
It really is. And it reminds me of another important point. Variety. It's not enough to just practice in one pool.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Different pools have different depths, different temperatures, the tiles might be different colors, even whether there are lane lines or not. All those things can affect a kid.
Oh, that makes sense. It could be more intimidating in a deeper pool or if the water's colder.
Right. So the more we can expose them to different environments, the better prepared they'll be.
It's like anything in life, right? You wouldn't just practice driving in an empty parking lot and then expect to handle rush hour traffic.
Exactly. So variety is key.
Okay, so we've talked about the serious stuff, the safety aspects. But Beck also emphasizes making it fun, right? Through games and songs and things.
Oh, absolutely. One of her favorites is called Wash the Dirty Clothes. It's all about getting comfortable in the water, and it involves all sorts of movements like swishing side to side, up and down, even a spin dry and drip dry part.
That's adorable. I can just picture a bunch of little kids pretending to do laundry in the pool.
It's a big hit, but Beck has to keep an eye on some of the dads, They get a little carried away with the shaking and spinning sometimes.
Oh, I can totally see that. Dads just want to have fun.
They do.
So what other games does Beck recommend?
Another fun one is called Bunny Hop. The kids lie on their backs, supported by their parent, and they kind of bounce into the pool.
Oh, so it's like practicing back floats, but in a more playful way.
Exactly. Which we know are super important.
It's amazing how she takes these, essential skills and turns them into something kids actually enjoy.
It shouldn't be all scary and serious. It's about building that love of the water.
It's so true. So as kids get older, what are some things we can do to, encourage their independence in the water?
Well, Beck teaches them to swim to the wall and back. At first, parents are right there with them, but gradually they start letting go more and more.
Oh, I bet that's hard for some parents.
Ah.
Letting go, even for a second, can be nerve-wracking.
It is, but it's so important for the child. They need that trust, that freedom to really learn.
Even if it means they might go underwater for a bit.
Yeah, even then, it's about staying calm and encouraging, showing them that it's okay to try, even if they don't get it perfect right away.
So it's almost like we're teaching them resilience, too.
Yeah, and if we freak out every time they go under, they're going to pick up on that fear. But if we're calm and positive, it sends a much better message.
It's about creating a safe space for them to learn, which applies to so much more than just swimming, really.
It does. It's about building trust, step by step.
And that trust allows them to, take risks, try new things, and really develop those water safety skills.
Without being held back by fear.
Exactly. It's about empowering them to become confident swimmers.
And it all starts with those little interactions, the games we play, the words we use, how we react, all those things add up.
Speaking of words, Beck mentioned something about the importance of consistency, right?
Yeah, consistent verbal cues are huge. Like if you always say, ready, go, before your kid enters the water, stick with that same cue every time.
So they know what to expect. It builds that trust.
Exactly.
It's fascinating how much thought goes into all these little details.
They really make all the difference.
This has been so insightful. I'm learning so much about how we can shape a child's relationship with water. It's not just about throwing them in the pool and hoping for the best.
It's about those subtle things, the words we use, how we react to their experiences. It all matters.
Beck is amazing. She's not just teaching kids to swim. She's teaching parents how to create these positive learning experiences.
That'll last a lifetime.
It's about shifting our mindset from, like, fear and anxiety to confidence and joy.
And realizing that even the simplest things, like monkey walking, can have such a huge impact on a child's understanding of water safety.
We often miss the forest for the trees, right?
We do.
Oh,
But
really?
when it comes to water safety, those deeper layers are crucial. It really makes you think about, how much experience matters.
Yeah, like Beck's insights are just invaluable.
She's seen it all, from those tiny babies to adults overcoming their fears.
Exactly. And she gets that it's not just about teaching strokes. It's about building confidence and resilience, too.
Absolutely. Things that'll help those kids way beyond the pool.
And she makes it fun. It shouldn't be a chore to learn how to be safe in the water.
Right. It's about that sense of joy and adventure.
This whole conversation has been so eye-opening, honestly.
But no, me too.
I feel like I'm seeing water safety in a whole new light.
It's so much more than just rules and regulations.
It's like there's this whole psychology behind it, you know?
Absolutely. And ultimately, it's about giving kids the tools to be confident and capable in the water.
So they can enjoy it safely.
I'm really glad we had this deep dive.
Me too. It's given me so much to think about. And I can't wait to share all this with others.
It's amazing what you can learn when you really dig into a topic.
And water safety is definitely one worth digging into.
No doubt about it.
Before we wrap up, though, I have one last thought for our listeners.
Okay, shoot.
Beck talked about how important it is to practice in different pool environments, right?
Yeah, to get used to all those variations.
But what about those of us who, only have access to one kind of pool?
That's a good question.
Like, how can we make things more challenging at home, even without having multiple pools to choose from?
We got to get creative.
Exactly. Think about temperature changes,
Or a different visual cue.
even the texture of surfaces.
Anything to kind of shake things up a bit.
It might be as simple as, like, adding some bath toys,
Or adjusting the water temperature in the tub.
or even setting up a mini obstacle course in the backyard, using sprinklers in a kiddie pool, something like that.
The point is to think outside the box.
And don't be afraid to make it fun.
Exactly. We don't want to overwhelm them.
It's about those gradual challenges.
This has been such a great conversation.
It really has. I feel like I've learned so much, and I bet our listeners have too.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this journey.
We hope you've learned some valuable things and that you're feeling more aware of just how important water safety is.
Remember, it's never too early or too late to make it a priority.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe out there.